Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be about the worst generation, and we're going to be ranking them from weakest to strongest. Worst generation, so this also includes Blackbeard. So we're going to start with number 12, Jewelry Bonnie, 140 million berry bounty pre-time skip. I don't believe we've gotten another bounty of her since. She hasn't done too much feat-wise in the story. She doesn't play too big of a role narrative-wise. We know that her and her crew lost to the Blackbeard Pirates, as we saw in the post-war arc. Because she has such a low narrative, she's not too important for the story. I don't believe that she's being saved for anything, and I don't believe that she's going to be playing a major role in the future. So for that, I have her as the weakest member. Number 11, we have Capone Beige. Now, we saw Capone Beige. We saw what he can do at Zoe. We saw a little bit of his Devil Fruit, but we mainly saw his abilities in Whole Cake Island. Beige has a 300 million berry bounty. We saw he has great defensive capabilities. He has... his Devil Fruit's good. He's mostly good for defensive and for tanking. But in my opinion, he relies too much on his crew and his Devil Fruit, where we haven't been able to see that much of him in a 1v1 and see how good he is. And to be honest, again, narrative-wise, I don't think he plays too much of a role. So with his feats and with his narrative, I have him at 11. I don't think there's that much to Beige. Number 10, we have Basil Hawkins, a.k.a. Lawkins. Moment of silence. I mean, I hope he's dead at this point. He's just been collecting L's left, right, and center. This guy has been going down to each member of the worst generation and handing them free W's. Zoro can get a W. Law can get a W. Killer can get a W. This guy has lost so many times in one arc. He's making history. And for me, this is a disappointment because he was supposed to be one of the 5 members to have, one of the 5 Supernova to have the highest bounties when they were introduced. So I thought there were always going to be big things coming for Hawkins. But even just Kaido showing up, and I mean, Apu was with them all along, but Hawkins just gave up. Like, he has no... This guy has... all he does is collect losses, and even spirit... Like, even just his will is weak at this point. I mean, he's just definitely disappointed me, because I had high hopes for Hawkins starting off, and he just dropped it. At number 9, we have Scratchman Apu. 350 million berry bounty. He dealt with Luffy and Zoro pretty quickly, but the thing with him is once you figure out how his Devil Fruit works, it's kind of useless at that point. We saw how it works with Kizaru as well, and yeah, he's too goofy as well. His personality is too goofy, so he can't be really that strong with his personality. But we did see some good stuff from him. At the end of the day, Zoro one-shotted him, and he was even scared of Queen, and Sanji dealt with Queen. It wasn't too hard of a fight for Sanji. And if Sanji can do that and Apu is scared of this guy and Zoro one-shots him later on the live floor, I mean, there's not that much to scratch from Apu. Number 8, we have X Drake. Forget about Hawkins. This is L Drake right here. This is an even more disappointing character than Hawkins in terms of strength for me, because again, X Drake was also one of the top 5 highest bounties when introduced. And even though I had high expectations for Hawkins, narratively, with everything we know about Drake, I had even higher expectations for him. Not to mention, since Wano, the reveal of him being the captain of Sword, him being undercover this entire time, him not really being a part of the Beast Pirates and just being undercover. He has a bounty of 222 million, I believe. He just didn't live up to his expectations. He didn't. I mean, all we've seen from him are losses as well. And even like the CP0 guy dealt with him pretty quickly. I don't know. For me, X Drake was disappointing. Moving on to number 7. This is someone that actually exceeded all of my expectations. Someone who I was not expecting to do as well as they did, but they did. And this is Killer. Killer has a 200 million berry bounty. We've seen him fight Zoro, although he was nerfed. I mean, Zoro was nerfed as well, but Killer was more nerfed than Zoro was. And he pushed Zoro pretty hard, even though he took that L at the end. Now, it makes you think, what would a fresh Killer do, right? We saw him on the rooftop. He was very impressive. Sonic Scythe was able to make Kaido scream. He put up some good stuff there. Even Kid wasn't able to do as much as Killer. I know that's a controversial statement, but in my opinion, Killer did a lot better than Kid, at least on the roof. And even after the roof, he was able to go back down and fight a Supernova 1v1, while nerfed even harder than he was against Zoro, arguably, because of Hawkins' Devil Fruit and him not being able to attack him because of Kid, his captain. and he still won that fight just coming off the roof. So for me, Killer has exceeded expectations. He's done really well, and he's climbed his way up this list. Number 6, we have Mad Monk Yoroge. This guy is he is the only guy pre-Luffy versus Katakuri, in my opinion, or not even my opinion, as far as I can remember, to defeat a Yonko commander. I don't believe any other member of the Worst Generation, or Supernova, remove Blackbeard, because he beat Ace, has defeated a Yonko commander. So once we heard Yoroge defeated Snack, a sweet general, automatically he has to be up there in terms of the Worst Generation. In terms of feats, there's not much from him, but I do believe he's going to play a role and he's being saved, maybe for Elbaf, maybe for something else, who knows. But just off the fact that he beat a sweet general, pre-Luffy beating Cracker or Katakuri, and he also has a very laid-back personality. He's pretty chill, and I think those are usually the more dangerous guys in the series. Just for that alone, I have him at the upper end of the list, and I have him at number 6. Moving on to the top 5. Now, we all knew who the top 5 were going to be. This is where it gets controversial. Number 5, I have Eustace Captain Kidd, 3 billion berry bounty. We saw him in Wano. On the roof, we saw what he can do. Against Big Mom, we saw what he can do. He has great stamina feats. He has great attack potency, as we saw with Damned Punk. Him and Law were able to take down Big Mom. He was able to fight one-on-one with Big Mom for a while before Law came in. So he is very, 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 very impressive. And we've also learned that he has Conqueror's Haki. But the reason I have him at number 5 is because, A, he has Haki, and he does not seem to be an efficient Haki user. For someone who has Conqueror's Haki, he relies way too heavily on his Devil Fruit. And we know that Conqueror's Haki, once mastered and reaches potential, is superior to Devil Fruits, like Kaido said. So until Kid can focus more on his Haki, and until he can step up and do better and show better feats in 1v1s, for me, I have him at number 5, because everyone above him right now is just simply better. Even if it's just by a little bit, they've outshone him, in my opinion. So number 4, we have Trafalgar Law, also a 3 billion berry bounty. From Law, we've seen more impressive stuff than Kid, in my opinion. On the rooftop, we saw he's a great support character. He may not be the strongest, but he's very, very, very useful in what he does. We saw pre-Roof Piece, we saw him defeat Hawkins. Incredible battle IQ, the smartest person in this entire list without a shadow of a doubt. He was the one that came up with the entire plan of taking down Kaido to begin with. On the roof, he was great support. He helped out Law. He helped out Luffy. He helped out Zoro. He helped out Kid, Killer, all of them a lot. He has just as good stamina as Kid, in my opinion. As we saw in the fight against Big Mom, he was just as impressive, if not more impressive, than Kid. He has the best Devil Fruit in the series, bar none. Again, in my opinion, his Devil Fruit is just so versatile. It can do anything. It has a whole Devil Fruit ability in Corazones just within his own ability. And that's just from what we've seen yet. There's probably still more to come. He's awakened his Devil Fruit at this point. Again, he's fantastic, but I have him at number 4 just until he focuses more on Haki. If him and Kid can focus more on Haki and bloom there, then I believe that they can do better. Because unless they do that, I don't think they stand a chance against fighters like Kaido. They may have been able to beat Big Mom, but Kaido's a whole different story. And I think Shanks and Blackbeard and guys like this, it's going to take efficient Haki to take these guys down. So until they reach that next step, I have them at 5 and 4 right now. Number 3, we have the right-hand man of the Pirate King, the future Pirate King, Marimo himself, Roronoa Zoro. Zoro has a 320 million berry bounty. He has done a lot in Wano. He's gotten a lot of hate, he's gotten a lot of love, and he's gotten everything in between. He has been the supernova killer in this arc. He has taken down Hawkins, he has taken down Killer while nerfed, and he has taken down Scratchman and Apu. One-shotted Apu. In Roof Piece, in my opinion, he was the most impressive rookie. Even more impressive than Luffy in the fact that we didn't expect from Zoro as much as we did from Luffy, and he excelled to beyond our expectations. Not only was he able to make Kaido afraid enough to dodge an attack from Enma, not only was he able to scar Kaido, not only was he able to unlock Advanced Conqueror's Haki, But after all of this, after tanking a Thunder Bagua, after tanking a Yonko combined attack, sure, even if it was for a split second, he took that head on, broke all his bones. And what did he do? He still went downstairs and still fought a first Yonko commander 1v1 and beat him with relative ease once he unlocked his Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Now I know, yeah, he took the medicine, the mink medicine, and it pretty much temporarily erased all of the pain he took from the roof. But still, even that aside, it's extremely impressive what Zoro was able to do. Now, I do want to say that Kid at 5, Law at 4, and Zoro at 3 are all very, very close. They're a lot closer to each other than they are to the next two and to the ones previous. However, I do have Zoro at 3 simply because he has Advanced Conqueror's Haki, like Kaido said himself, is superior to Devil Fruit, and I think Zoro's potential from here on is going to excel much faster. He's going to have a much faster growth rate than Law and Kid will. Now, for the top 2. At number 2, we have Marshall D. Teach. Blackbeard himself. Yes, I know some people think he's number 1, but as of right now, I have him at number 2. 2.2 million berry bounty. 2.2 billion berry bounty, sorry. He has been absolutely impressive. We haven't seen too much from him post time skip, but we do know that he has 2 of the absolute strongest fruits in the series. He has been absolutely amazing, but if he can show us a Devil Fruit Awakening, or if he can get a 3rd fruit, I think that will launch him to number 1. I think that's what's gonna be coming anyways in the story, but as of right now, I don't think he's there yet. I think we're in a small gap right now where Luffy is stronger than him, where he's never been stronger than him before, but he is now. But soon, really soon, Blackbeard will surpass Luffy again. Maybe he'll fight Shanks, maybe he'll get a 3rd Devil Fruit, maybe he'll awaken his 2 fruits already, who knows. But just because of what we've seen right now from the person I have at number 1, I gotta put Blackbeard at number 2. And that leaves us with the one and only at number 1, Monkey D. Luffy. Who else? Monkey D. Luffy recently just got his 3 billion berry bounty, equal to Law and Kid's, which I think is underwhelming for Luffy. I think he has absolutely deserved the right to have a higher bounty than them. Not just in strength, because we know bounties are not just about strength, but in terms of everything. He should have a higher bounty. He's the one who took down Kaido 1v1. He's the reason Big Mom showed up to Wano. He's the reason the raid failed. He's the reason that the raid succeeded. I mean, now with Luffy, he has in Wano alone, in the raid alone, he has awakened his Devil Fruit. He has gotten Advanced Conqueror's Haki. He has shown his advanced armament Haki. He now has all 3 forms of advanced Haki, and he has his Devil Fruit Awakening. On paper, he is elite, arguably the best fighter in the series. Now we just need him to master these power-ups that he has. But from what we've seen from him already, able to go toe-to-toe with Kaido, split the sky with Kaido, ended up defeating Kaido. He has been more impressive than I think any of us would have expected 2 years ago from now. If you had told us that this is where Luffy would be 2 years later, we would all be surprised. So yeah, Luffy's number 1 right now, above Blackbeard. I can say that confidently for myself right now, but I do believe that Blackbeard will surpass him again soon. That's going to do it for this list. That's my ranking of the Worst Generation members. Let me know down below in the comments if you agree or if you disagree. Let me know what you would change. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Thanks guys.